Welcome to Project Cars Drivers Club Season 4. PCDC returns to the hectic multi-class format this spring with a 7-race series of GT3 and LMP1 action. Each Saturday we'll have practice and qualifying, followed by 90 minutes of racing with accelerated tire wear to put your racecraft to the test. Additionally, we'll be running races with real weather enabled, so keep an eye on the sky and maybe bring an umbrella. Let's take a look at the circuits. The first race of Season 4 starts in what could be called the home of the sports car, Monza, Italy. Get ready to blast some chicanes. Next, we're off to Spain's Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for a scenic early morning jaunt. Week 3, we stop by Algarve International in Portugal to speed through the hills of Portimao at sunset. Next, we head east to Japan for a go at the eponymous speedway in the foothills of Mount Fuji. After Japan, we hop the Pacific and head to my home track, Road America. This midnight race through the woods of Wisconsin is sure to put everyone's attentiveness to the test. Austin, Texas, home to Circuit of the Americas, our drivers' last chance to get their points in for the championship. This circuit will challenge them with its technical sections, but it won't be the last trial for these brave souls. Season 4 ends with a grueling 3-hour solo endurance race at Daytona Speedway in Florida. The main series championship may be decided, but this won't stop our drivers from fighting for the win in our seasonal endurance series. The season starts on April 28th, so visit pcdc.link to join us, or tune into the stream each day as I take us through the action. Hello, it's me, Dustin the Destroyer. I cut that intro video a little bit short, oh well. We are live and we are just about ready to embark on the race to Road America. We started a bit late. Quali went off pretty well. The top 2 LMP drivers, Mason and Turenbar, are quite close in pace, and the top 6 GT3 cars were all within 0.7 of a second of each other, so we've got quite a race in store today. We are about to start the formation lap here at beautiful sunny Road America in Wisconsin. It's gonna be a little dark and foggy tonight, pretty low visibility, and it's gonna be a little tricky for some people. These LMPs are gonna have some difficulty keeping out of trouble because the visibility is going to be low and they are just going to be rocketing around this place. They're going to get going really quickly on these long straight sections that you can see on the map there. But yeah, week 5 here. While we're waiting, we can go over the big standings here. Let's see, so after last week at Fuji, the GT3 driver standings have Bill Kerman in the lead by 7 points, but he is out for this race. So Echo's probably going to be looking to score that top spot after this race. Second to the last race in the regular season here. So we got this and then Coda after this. And that's about all the chance that Bill Kerman's going to have to defend his top spot. Sierra in third for the overall driver standings. Rubik's in fourth. Rubik's been having some really fantastic performances. Last race didn't go super hot for him. I think it was last race where he had a kind of a bad go of it, but he's been having some really dominant performances so far. So I think well, he's only a point away from Sierra, so he could do some big things. And Lager had a really strong showing in the quali today as well. And a lot of other really good performances so far this season, so he's looking good. You're gonna hear the bells go off here, and they're gonna get off on just the formation lap, so we'll check in with them in just a second. Continue with the standings briefly here. Turambar leading the LMP1 driver standings with 29 points. Mason behind him by 10 points, and they are both so close today in terms of pace out here on Road America. So we're gonna see I think we're gonna see some battles for the top spot in LMP today. It's not gonna be a Sunday drive like usual. It can be within the. We haven't had the Mason or Turambar or Flick and Flacken all driving together very often out here this season. Mason, yeah, in second place. Hillbilly Chris behind him by 4 points in third place so far with the LMP1 standings. Flick and Flocken still in fourth place despite only turning up to about 2 races. He's still out with the technical issues with his wheels, so we'll see what happens there. And Sam in fifth. We'll check in with our drivers on the embarking on the formation lap here. You see Mason, the pole sitter. Turambar was just a tenth behind him in the qualifying, so they've got some very similar pace out here. Hillbilly Chris is rounding out the top 3 in the LMP1. For GT3, we had Echo take the pole position by about a tenth as well. And then Lager behind him in second. Rubik's got third. Flowscub fourth. Zedian fifth. And Have a Nice Day got sixth. And these are all the guys that were all within 1 second of each other in qualifying. Hello and welcome. I see y'all in chat. Welcome to the stream. I think we're gonna have a good one today. I just waved at the chat. You can't see it because I don't have a camera, but I just waved at the chat screen like you could all see me. Let's see, so as you can probably tell by the map here, if you're not familiar with Road America, it is a pretty lengthy circuit. Lots of high speed Oh my goodness, excuse me. That sneeze just like snuck up on me. High speed, lengthy sections, lots of straights, lots of sweeping stuff, a couple really heavy braking zones thrown in there, and some sort of technical sections like here at the end of the circuit, but a lot of really high speed stuff. You can see in sector 2 there's like just a big horseshoe turn that's really testing for grip, and there's a lot of really interesting corners here at Road America. I'll take you on a lap at some point, but we got some Rubik's fans in the chat, I see. We got some Lager fans. Good to see y'all. I think we'll be off and racing here after this formation lap. Get on board with Ariel, so you have a pretty good view. Maybe Kimmy can get a good view of the top 3 here as they cross the line, and we are off racing for an hour and a half here at Road America. Oh, we've already had an upset. Turambar losing it on turn 1, Kimmy losing it on turn 2, and now Ariel Master has just snuck on into the top 3. That is the difference that a good start can make here, even with single file starts. And the GT3s are off and running. As you can see, it's a little foggy out, so the trackside cameras are having some issues tracking the action. So we'll be having a lot of roof cams here, and we'll be doing our best. Oh, big mess going into this turn. Oh, I can't. All right, so we've got Logger up in front now. Rubik's in second, Echo in third. Ice is starting from the back again here today. We'll check in with him later. Oh yeah, these guys are close. This is all that pack of people that were all within a second of each other. So we're probably gonna see these guys fighting it out here in the early laps for quite a while. Check back in with the LMPs quickly to find out what's going on. Hillbilly Chris still in second, Ariel still in third. Never mind, Ariel had it off, and now Meeksta snuck up into the third place. All right, good on you. Tanakiwi says, we'll see if Sjord can create another uproar from P8. It's quite possible. We've seen some really immense things happen at the last minute from Sjord. Oh, these guys are sticking real tight together here up at the front of the GT3 pack. Oh man, just see how bad the visibility is on these trackside cams. Big off from Logger. What happened, buddy? I think maybe the drivers are struggling with visibility a little bit as well. So we've got Rubik's, our new GT3 category leader. And they are not done yet. Checking in with the LMPs. Looks like Ariel's stuck in behind Kimmy Ray for possibly going to be making a move of it at some point here. We'll stick with him here while he catches up. Not sure if he's going to have what it takes on that one. I'm gonna apologize in advance for all the camera work here. It's hard to get the right angles. Jaxa and is that Stanker or Sjord? Sjord and Jaxa going side by side, stuck in together, but Sjord manages to come out ahead of that one. That was a little bit sketchy. Now we see Logger is up there in that white Mercedes, leading the second pack now. So that, oh, Stanker got caught out there. People were trying to get a little bit creative with the lines, and Stanker just could not manage to sneak by untouched. Well, I mean, he snuck by untouched, but he had his line completely ruined there, just by circumstances. So what do you do? That's life sometimes. Looks like Echo is right up on Rubik's here. And we've seen Echo get some really strong starts before, and this might be a similar story here. We've seen that Huracan just bound ahead of all the other GT3 cars somehow. I don't know how he does it, but that thing's got some mean pace when it's on fresh tires. I can't see anything. Oh, Turambar's gone. Turambar dropped out of the LMP1s. I didn't even make the connection till just now, but it seems Turenbar has retired, and Mason's got a 4-second gap. Hillbilly Chris is keeping up with him. He's still within 4 seconds of him, and then it's a 20-second gap to Meeksta in third in the LMP1s. That's too bad. I was hoping to see some serious wheel-to-wheel racing with the LMP1s today, but it looks like it may not be in the cards. Chris is catching up to Mason up there, though. Just, yeah, within eyeshot of him. I know I'm going to have, on a day like today, I'm going to have a lot of drivers talking to me after the race saying, oh, you missed my amazing battle that I had. Like, here, we caught this one at least. Sedian making the move around. Nope, not quite getting around. Have a nice day. But yeah, when I can't rely on the trackside cameras, I can't really see the entire pack and what they're doing as well, so we're just gonna make the best of it like we usually do. You know how it is around these parts. There's Sjord, Stanker, and Jaxa all stuck in pretty close together. What's going on up here? Hillbilly Chris getting quite close to Mason. Kimmy and Aerial Master are looking like they're ready to fight as well pretty soon here. Rubik's and Echo still working on it. Here we go. Here's some business. That is Sedian in the white and blue Huracan up there, and then Floscub in the red Audi up ahead of them. Get on with Sedian here and see what's going on. Oh, hard on the brakes there, hard on the brakes. Alright. Everybody, I got notifications lighting up my screen here. There's a lot of racing going on. I do the best I can to catch all of it. Oh! Looks like a little slipperiness there from Sjord. Oh, there's contact with Sjord and Hillbilly Chris, I believe. Oh no, that is the second place LMP bumping into Sjord. Oh no. Yeah, and he's just gonna have to sit and wait. Oh, he's running out of time to get back on the track. Aerial Master is catching up to him now. And that is second place secured for the time being for Aerial Master. Yeah, I knew it was gonna get a little bit hairy out here for these LMP guys. They're moving so fast, they're not going to be able to see the GT3s till they're right up on them, and the GT3s aren't going to know that they're there in the rear view until they're right up on them. The fog just obstructs. I mean, you can see how it tends to work on here. It obstructs any shapes of anything. You see lights, so you just kind of got to go off of that. What is going on over here? It's just too much. It's just too much for me. Alright, so Zedian's here working on Floscub still. Now we've got Kimmy, Meeksta, and Chris, who we're on board with, all sort of nose to tail here within a second of each other. Just look at how fast these guys are racing. I love it. Oh my god. This start-finish straight is so long, and they just get going so quick. A lot of guys going with some low downforce setups to really extract as much top speed from their vehicles as they can. So as we can see, well, Hillbilly Chris, I think, had some damage, and that's causing him to lose it a little bit here. But also the low downforce setups, you're going to be making some sacrifices on these high-speed corners. But since the spoiler's not creating as much drag and downforce on the car, but that means you can go, I don't even know, 5 to 10 miles per hour faster on the long straight if you have the low downforce setup. So it's definitely a very viable strategy out here today in terms of wing setup, is to just go as fast as possible with the low downforce. Sedian's still working on flow scub here. Let's check in with Domi, MDK, and Sjord up here, the teammates. Sjord managed to not really lose out too badly after that contact with the LMP car. And I think that's Chris going by. I don't know if he's gonna need... Oh, these guys had to sacrifice their lines a little bit. Oh my goodness. They managed to keep it together. They had to sacrifice their lines a little bit. That LMP kind of took the inside lane there, and I don't think they were quite prepared for it. Oh, MDK's losing it a little bit. I think Domi's gonna make the move here. Not quite. Quite. Oh, just side by side almost. Oh my goodness. It's just a drag race. It's like a 3/4 mile long drag strip up here on the start finish straight. That's so exciting to watch. Sedian almost has what it takes to get assigned flow scub, but not quite. Looks like Echo is kind of backed off Rubik's tail a little bit up there in second place. I think Echo maybe not going for that miraculous type of start and instead just kind of slotting in and getting his race pace figured out here. But Rubik's is on a tear for race pace. His last lap was a 2:09, so he's about 6-7 tenths ahead of anybody else in the GT3 field. Rubik's is having some monstrous pace right out of the gate. Here's Chris caught up to Meeksta for P3. He's had some bad luck out here today, but he is fighting on, and he is having some pretty decent pace still. I think we had another LMP retirement. Let me see. I don't think I can scroll on the race feed or not, but who are we missing? Mason, Aerial Master, Meeksta, Chris. I don't know. We're down to 4 LMPs, and oh, Chris must have some aero damage or suspension damage from that other contact, because he is not having a good time of it on the turns. Oh, have got a good exit out of that turn there. Going along the inside. Looks like Have has got what it takes. Snacks just... Whoa, we got a spin there. Who is that? Is that Niffy that was off there? Yeah, Snacks just went too wide on that. Gave Have all the go-ahead that he needed. So he went ahead. Domi made it around MDK this lap. See his teammate Jax behind him too. We got Davilex and Domi and Jax's team both within pretty close proximity of each other. We got some good 2x2 racing. Oh no, it was Logger. Yeah, that's That's another retirement here. This night racing out here on such a fast course with some fog is really taking a toll on people already. I think we started with 20 or 22 people. We're already down like six or seven retirements, I think. That's bad. It's tough out here. I wasn't joking in that intro teaser. Here we go, side by side, Zedian and Flow Scub. Zedian finally getting this move done. Does he have it? It looks like Flow Scub is tucking in. I can't get an angle on it. There we go. Flow Scub's not giving up though. He's going side by side, barely a car's length, 2x2 into the corner. Oh my goodness. Flow Scub managing to keep it along the outside. That was gnarly. Oh, just inches apart in the braking zone here. And now here comes that big horseshoe right-hander, really testing how much grip you can get out of your tires. Go as fast as you can while managing to keep it on the track there. And we got a fast right-hand kink here. It totally depends on the vehicle whether you can take that flat or not. Some can, some can't. I don't remember if the GT3s can. It seems like they can take that pretty much with the throttle all the way down. Pretty heavy braking zone here. Oh, Flow Scub almost took a dive in there. Zedian almost let him. Check in real quick with these guys. So I'll take you on the rest of the lap here. This is turn one. Gonna be hitting the brakes a bit here, but it's a nice sort of medium right. And we got a little bit tighter of a right-hander here. We'll get the speedo up so you can see what gear they're taking these in. And we got one of the many long, speedy sections here. Getting up into fifth, getting up into sixth gear, and heavy braking zone downhill. Banging through the gears, tight left-hander. He was taking that in first gear there. And we got an uphill, start braking on the uphill portion. Tight left. Very, very tricky technical corners to complement all these fast sections. We're going downhill, uphill braking. It's very, very difficult to make sure your car is settled in for those. Another left-hander here. That one's pretty easy. Got a lot of runoff under the Speedville Bridge onto this horseshoe corner. I forget what it's called or if it even has a name, but basically a giant skid pad. You gotta see how fast you can go on that thing without spinning your back end out or going off track. And then here's that fast right-hand kink again. Onto the back straight, the backest of the straights here, right before the final complex of turns. Heavy braking zone into a second gear right-hander. Taking it as wide as you can, maybe a little too wide there though. These wide curbs that you see are sometimes usable, sometimes they're a little dangerous. You definitely don't want to hook your tire off the left-hand side of them. Aeromaster's in the pits in fourth for the LMP1. Chat is saying that Logger got hit by an LMP driver apparently, so there's a big contact with LMP and Logger. Maybe that was Turim, or it might have been a race ender for both guys. They had a big accident there, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. everybody's getting their heroes put out of the race today, so maybe we'll find some new heroes out here Flowscub is performing really well out here so far. We haven't really seen any really monstrous finishes for Flowscub yet this season, so I'm liking what I'm seeing out here so far. Snack's just kind of hanging just barely inside the slipstream range of Miffy here. Oh, I got the ping for Echo and Rubik's here. Echo's caught back up to Rubik's. They are dead on for pace. Echo did a faster last lap, so he's caught up a little bit here. Welcome to anybody just joining us. Just a quick overview of what's going on. We got an hour-and-a-half race here. Just about an hour and 5 minutes left of the race. I think we'll be seeing some pit stops. Probably a one-stopper from the GT3s from what I've heard. I think somebody said the McLaren has a bigger tank than anything in the GT3, but a lot of the cars are going to have to stop for fuel at the very least. So we'll see. Probably a one-stop, maybe just a splash and dash if the tires are working out well for people. Guess we'll see. Christian says, go Rubik's. Yes, Rubik's is killing it out here, but Echo's not going to let him run away with it. He's, Echo's been managing his race pace really well to keep up here in second place, and now he's kind of starting to, oh, those curbs are so dangerous. Now he's kind of catching up to Rubik's, and they're both going to have to consider if they're going to duke it out, burn some tires, or if they're trying to possibly tire save for the rest of the hour of the race. Yeah, these big wide curbs that I mentioned before, they sort of angle out and angle upward. So if you hang your tire off the outside of the really wide curbs that you see, there's like a 4-inch drop that your tire falls off of. And you definitely feel that out there. It unsettles the car a lot. Yes, Bill can come join me in commentary. That would be lovely. Where is he? Oh, he can manage himself. He's a mod. He can come on in. Yeah, I definitely would like the company, Bill. I get lonely here in the commentary box. Nothing but my lovely YouTube chat and my race cars. All right. Yeah, we'll get Bill in the chat here to keep things in line. We know how it goes when I'm alone in the commentary box. I start talking about camel racing or whatever it was, ostrich racing. Flowscub hanging off the curb there, getting completely unsettled, going for a spin. Headlights are still working. Hello, Bill. We are having some drama out here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's no problem. Flowscub just had a big spin. Got upset by the curbs on that fast right-hand kink.
Oh no.
And had a spin. I think we're good now, though. How's it going, Bill?
It's going fine, thanks. How about the race?
It's going well so far, but I think we've had about 6 or 7 retirements already.
Yeah, I've heard about a few technical issues.
Yeah. Oh, there's another big spin. Oh my goodness. Jesus, it is like a Fast and the Furious movie out here. Cars are flying everywhere. That was one of the Davilex cars having who's Seward and who's the other Davilex driver? MDK.
I really don't know.
Yeah, it's MDK and Seward. I think that was
a close evasion from Echo.
Wasn't it? That was outrageous. And Echo's still up on Rubik's. They just dealt with a disaster movie going on in front of them, but they managed to keep it all together. Flowscub in the pits after that spin definitely made a little bit of contact with the wall. Probably has some significant damage. So I think I commentators cursed Flowscub pretty good because I was just talking about how great of a performance he's having today. We haven't really seen him in any top spots so far this season, but now these things happen where you get these tricky curbs on this circuit. Some of them are just deadly curbs.
Is it possible that I'm set as broadcaster because I can't switch views?
Well, sometimes when like people join to spectate, they just get stuck with my views anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
But sometimes I think if we have a broadcaster, sometimes if somebody spectates, I can pick whatever. It's happened both ways, so it's
Alright.
yeah.
Anyhow, I see that Echo is behind Rubik's now and making some pressure. What happened at the start there?
Lot of drama at the start. We had two of our top running GT3 drivers have offs, and Logger got taken out by an LMP at some point. But yeah, straight off, I think it was at turn 1, our first or second place, I think our second place driver had an off on turn 1, and then our third place driver kind of had a wobble, and people were sneaking around and shuffling a lot just right on the first lap today.
Sounds tense.
It was wild. I was trying to keep up with it the best I can, but the trackside cameras are trash when there's fog, so there's a lot of mysteries I can't answer today.
Did anything happen to Miffy? He is lapping quite a bit quicker than half right now. Actually, he just did the fastest lap of anyone in the GT3 field.
Yeah, that is some really good pace. We have seen Echo pull a 209 out here in the race,
wow.
so 210 is definitely a good spot to be in here. We're seeing Rubik's and Echo both doing 211.8, 211.7s, so 210 is definitely a good race pace to be at this point in the game for Miffy.
I'm really curious to see how the pit strategies unfold.
Yeah, have you just done any testing or practicing on this circuit at all? I haven't.
I have not done a single lap, but from what I gather from chats for GT3s, it's going to be a bit of a refill towards the end of the race. But I wonder if someone will go for soft tires in the night. It could be an option.
Right. We do.
There's an LMP off.
Oh, that's Meeksta off. Not quite joining too smoothly there either, but he's back and running, and still got some time from him to Ariel. Yeah, somebody mentioned they just need like 20 liters of fuel by the end of the race. So here's my question, I forgot, do they do fuel and tires at the same time in GT3?
No, they do not.
Okay.
So yeah, switching tires is going to be an additional time you lose, so it might not be worth it, but I really don't know what the tire wear is like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can get, I didn't see the temperature for the track, but at night, I can tell you right now, springtime in Wisconsin at night, that'll be pretty cool. So it's going to be easier on the tires than a lot of the circuits we've had so far this season.
On the other hand, we might see people running the soft tires if it's really cold, and those wear a bit more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Echo is making more pressure now. He's been showing himself in the mirrors a bit and fanning out towards the end of the straights, just to make him nervous a bit. I think this is going to come to blows in a few laps at least.
Yep, he is definitely posturing for oh, make sure you know that LMP's there, bud. We've seen a couple of LMP and GT3 contacts already. They just come up so fast that it's hard for everybody to...
these long corners, it's incredibly difficult to judge.
And it's so difficult for them to see each other out here. The fog at a certain... Oh, Rubik's with the off! He manages to keep it together!
Yeah, that was incredible.
But Echo's got the pace now from that. That right-hand kink is so dangerous. I think in these GT3s you can almost take it flat, but you're at the absolute edge of grip at the outside of that kink.
Yeah, that's what I would wager as well. He seems to be a bit rough with running wide here as well.
Oh no, Echo laying the tires off!
that's not what we wanted to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of places with some decent sort of runoff for your tires if you hang over the curb here, but there's a lot of places where if you hang your tires over, you're going straight to grass and dirt, like a
Yeah.
3-inch drop into dirt. So
yeah, in the GT3s you can take a bit of grass on exit or at the apex, but you really don't want any while you're braking.
right, yeah, playing it fast and loose with the curbs at Road America will lead to some bad moments. You really want to have that confidence through the turns to not have to hang those wheels off, because there's a couple really deadly spots here. And
Well, Ice nearly bins it into the wall.
that kink is everybody's pushing so hard on that kink, and they think they can make it every time, but just a slight misstep there will put you out.
Timing is just so incredibly important if you're in a car class where that's the limit. Just need to pull it off perfectly or you'll have issues.
Right, and that I struggle with that kink, because it's one of those where you have to actually throw it in at the right time. You have to really chuck it into that kink, and you have to have the confidence to do it at the exact right time. If you do it, you chuck it in a little too early, then you've sacrificed your line already, and too late, and you're done. It's one of those 100% confidence turns that you have to have.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's a very technical corner, even if it doesn't seem like it. Whoa! Oh. What a big... Whoa! That was well caught.
Ice is having himself a time here. He started from the back, and after retirements and 2 overtakes here, he's in 14th overall, 11th in GT3. But yeah, he showed up to quali just as the quali window was closing, so he's having another start from the back here. Let's check in the...
He seems to do well when he's not prepared.
Yeah, I feel like Ice has some really great moments when he just turns up and races, and then sometimes when he takes a season really seriously and shows up and practices, he gets crashed out in the first 4 laps and gets upset. Yeah. Mason
definitely not our luckiest member.
Yeah. Mason, our race leader's got a 47-second over Hillbilly Chris. Hillbilly Chris has had a absolutely rough race so far, but he's managing the 2nd place in his class still. He's had a full side-to-side contact with another car. He's had 2 offs that I think were caused by maybe some suspension damage or something, and he's still just managing some really good pace out here.
I think we lost on our LMP. It's only 3 remaining.
Yeah, we did. So we got Mason, Chris, and Meeks to... What was our other one? I forget. As soon as somebody's off the board, I forget they exist.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, we started with 6. Now we're down to 3, and I think we had 15 or 16 GT3s, and we've lost a handful of those as well.
I think there's a really good chance now.
Oh, no. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, no. Massive contact. Yeah. Sneak by there. You can see
that coming, though.
Yep.
It was a bit unlucky that they both lost it at the same time.
Right. Yeah, they both sort of got off track at similar moments and tried to keep up the pace instead of just having a slow, because they were racing, in that moment you want to keep up the pace.
Right? Who was in front in the blue Porsche? Yeah, I think he was. He pits now. He ran wide a bit and then lost the car a bit. Ice used that to get a better exit, but while he was pushing for the overlap, he got a big kick of oversteer and just couldn't hold it there anymore. Yeah, that was really unlucky.
It was. That was just one of those things. Both guys are pushing so hard that sometimes these things happen. That was a really massive contact for both guys, though. I don't think anybody's gonna have a good finish after that for Ice or Domi.
No, definitely not. I wonder if Ice is going to pit or if he's just going to say fuck it and drive well as it is.
I don't know.
No, he's going to pit. Look at it drifting to the right.
It is just crumpled. Oh, and his engine temperature is skyrocketing already. His radiator's smashed.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to pit.
He's gonna have to coast his way into the pits at this rate.
Yeah. Well, the engine temperature can go pretty high without damaging it immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit over 100 degrees, oil temperature is pretty normal.
Yeah, it's not in the critical range. It's in the like noticeably getting higher point, but
Yeah. He just
not,
can't afford to run the race like this. He'll have
no.
to pit.
Yeah.
Was it Stanker who is? Whoa, that's a normal. That's a scheduled pit stop, right? Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, Stanker is overtaking Sjord. It's going to be a game of chicken who breaks later.
Oh, I love these drag races on the start-finish straight. Are so fun at this circuit.
Stanker did very well. He covered the apex as soon as he could.
Yep.
So Sjord had a blocked line for the cutback.
Yeah, that is.
But he's running wide now. This is going to be a chance for Sjord to catch up, but no, it's not.
Yeah, Sjord looked like he got a fantastic exit out of there, but Stanker's Porsche just keeps up the pace out of even a bad exit.
Looks like he got a bit sideways as well at the apex, and that will cost you time when you try to accelerate.
East is in the pits now. I think the LMPs are having sort of scheduled stops here. We got 50 minutes left.
Looks like it.
Ice.
Mason hasn't come to the pits yet. Correct?
No, he has not. Ice and Raz are pitting in GT3s. Ice surely gonna be getting. Oh no!
He lost the rear massively. This is not a good day for the rears of GT3 cars.
It is not. It's not a good day to be any car on the grid out here. It's been really rough.
From the looks of it, it doesn't seem like too much damage, and we see Echo coming to the pits.
Yeah, that's our second place GT3 car going into the pits here. He's got... Was he going on softs to begin with? I don't understand what he's coming in for.
I suppose he was. Such a stop at the middle of the race only makes sense if your tires are worn and you want to maximize tire performance.
Yeah.
So probably he's going to switch to another set of fresh tires.
Yeah, you know, he's probably doing just the sort of halfway stop where he's getting fresh tires and enough fuel to make it to the
Absolutely.
end instead of the
but
splash and dash
have
type of thing.
just for fuel at this point in time.
No, he had 57 liters left when he went into the pits, so yeah, I think he's calculated how much fuel he'll need, and he'll try to make it the rest of the race on softs then.
I suppose that's what he tries. He will have to pull something spectacular to close the gap to Rubik's. They were running the same pace, and Rubik's is not looking like he's about to make a mistake. Very controlled and precise.
Yeah, Rubik's when, I mean, we saw when the pressure's on, some mistakes get made, but Rubik's generally is another one of those drivers where if you give him the air to breathe, he'll manage his race pace really well and just keep it consistent for hours at a time.
Absolutely, I've been very impressed with him.
Yeah, he's had some really great finishes. I think last race he didn't have good luck, but he's in the points with you and who else was?
Echo's also pretty close, but I suppose he's going to win the league if nothing weird happens. We have the Joker race, which is probably going to be his last race where he disconnected.
Oh yeah.
And with me missing this race and him beating Echo, it's looking very good for him.
Yeah, are you gonna make next week's race, Bill?
I think I am, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be last chance to defend that top spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at it race by now.
Yeah. What's going on here? Echo's out of the pits and possibly...
How big is the gap from Echo to Rubik's now?
Echo to Rubik's, let's see, a minute.
That's going to be too much. I think if Rubik's only needs to refuel, this is going to be extremely tough for Echo.
Yeah, we'll see if Rubik's is on hards and Echo is managing the same pace on softs, then Echo's in trouble.
Yeah,
but
also he has traffic now.
Yeah, but if Rubik's does take tires, then Echo's gonna be right back with him by the end of the race.
Yeah, Well, I guess, but they still had those like 10 seconds from Echo's mistake between them. So even with identical strategies, it should be back once Rubik's pits. So he'd have to be consistently faster now. And his last lap time was from the pits, yeah.
Another
Well, he lost about 50 seconds in the pits, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see, I guess. But I think strategy-wise, Rubik's is in a better spot for now.
Possibly. He's definitely got the high ground strategy-wise. That was another textbook pass on the start-finish. Echo got the inside line there, and Sierra basically had to give it to him at the end.
Looks like he's just having more grip, and also, yeah, being more precise a bit.
Yep. Those Davalex boys are at it again.
Is Stanker recovering? Is he on the back of Sjord again?
Yep. 2 seconds away.
Getting closer. Engine temperature's looking good. I don't think he had too much damage from his off.
Here's Have a Nice Day in a interesting position in P9. We usually by this time see Have in some good posture for a finish, because he is a very consistent driver in just about any car, but he hasn't had particularly bad or good luck this race, and he's just kind of dropped him in the
running wide again. Yeah, your curse is strong tonight, Dustin.
I curse everybody to race really excitingly and give us a lot of entertainment.
Did Jeff maybe have an issue last lap? He lost like more than 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
I reckon we're going to see a pass pretty soon, because in general he seems quicker.
There's Zedian in the pits, Stinker into the pits now, and
that was
Jaxa into the pits.
Yeah.
So here's, I don't think Hav's gone into the pits yet though, so it's getting free.
Judging from the fuel, he probably hasn't.
Oh well, 80 is a lot.
Well, you're right, yes, but how large is the fuel tank on that car? Well, I think he probably has. You're right.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's the reason he was in 9th. I was like wondering why of all places he was in 9th, because he's.
Now combined with that 244, it absolutely makes sense.
Yep. Alright, so Have is in a good position. This makes sense. Everything makes sense again.
We're so good at this.
We are. Fantastic. Really professional. This is... We'll pay each other $20 after this, because we absolutely deserve... Yeah.
So in the LMPs, it's looking like Meek is closer to Chris than he was in the beginning. The overlay shows us like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if we could maybe see something towards the end of the race here, or if it's just strategy unfolding.
It's hard to say, and I wonder, the LMPs had their scheduled pit stops quite early. I wonder if we're gonna see a 2-stop from these guys. They had theirs.
I already have no idea about anything in LMPs, no idea about wear rates, fuel tank sizes. I'm just blind.
Yeah, I'm really out of my element with the LMPs.
Whoa,
but
that was a crash from
oh no, Meek and Have.
Oh,
yeah.
really unlucky.
That is too bad. I knew going into this race it was going to be really dangerous with these guys, and you know we've seen these guys race so many times. They're extremely safe drivers. Like 99% of the time, everybody's perfect, but just the nighttime mixed with poor visibility is just in a fast circuit like Road America, where people just come out of nowhere real fast. The pace difference between the LMPs and the GT3s can be monstrous.
Absolutely. And it's not like we've seen people doing anything dirty, it's just mistakes forced by the track geometry and conditions.
Yep. Eeks to ducking into the pits after that.
So Ice seems to be really close to Raz now, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
I reckon this should be a quick one. Raz's car looks absolutely battered on my end.
Yeah, both of them look battered on my end.
Yeah.
We got the demo derby back here.
Yeah.
Is that Echo coming up on them? It is.
This is going to be dicey. Maybe Ice can use Echo as an advantage if he does it cleverly.
Maybe. It's hard to say. It seems like luck of the draw whether a lapping car is gonna help you out or hurt you when you're in a battle.
I mean, if you have similar pace with the car that is lapping you, it might be worth it to be conservative in where you let him pass soon and just tuck right in.
Oh, chat says your mic is low, so I'll just turn it up on my end. So I'm hearing you fine, but after post-mix, it's probably a little bit low. Here we go.
I hope this is better now.
Yeah, how's that, chat?
Tell us if it's better, please. Meanwhile, it looks like Echo did a small mistake and didn't really get close enough. He can flash his lights all he wants, he's just not close enough yet.
Yep. Not gonna get it done on this turn.
Ooh, this is looking good for Ice. Let's see if he is brave enough. Nah, he tucks back in. Oh, that's clever. I think Echo has got to have gotten close due to this. Still not really. Ice is going for the outside. Let's see if this ends in tears. Ooh, that was right on the edge from Ice. Very good overtake.
Alright, so Raz Daniels getting the worst of the deal here.
Chat says my mic is better, so I'm happy to hear that.
It is absolutely booming in my headset now, but I can fix that. Oh, going on the inside on this long right-hander.
Bit of an unfortunate part of the track to let someone pass, but that was safely done and minimal time loss for Ice, so I guess that was clever.
Yeah, it's so hard to decide on a line through there. I struggle with that and that right-hand kink a lot because it's so variable. Are you gonna hit it like a double apex, or are you gonna just like try to late apex it? It's one of those corners that's so big that you got a lot of different ways to try to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw on stream, because it was delayed a bit, that Ice had a bit of a bad exit out of the turn before that long right-hander. So that was why Echo suddenly got so close.
I see. Never really occurs to me when I just miss something on screen to look back at the stream in a couple seconds to try to see it again. That's smart.
So Echo is now in third, still about a minute behind Rubik's and doing very similar lap times. So it doesn't look like Rubik's tires are really giving up.
Got 1 second penalty on Hillbilly Chris, which is not sure what that's for, but it's pretty good concerning how many offs we've seen Hillbilly Chris be the victim of today.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the game just hasn't punished him for no reason more than that.
1 second can pretty much only be track limits.
Yeah. Man, these...
And Nick is still or again in the pits.
Going for a lap with Mason, our race leader here, just to see what kind of pace these LMPs are pulling on a full lap here and how they deal with the traffic, because it is exciting to see.
Absolutely. I'll keep an eye on the times.
So this is the start of the second straight, and he's already going 180 miles per hour.
Yeah, these cars hit their top speed about halfway through the straight, and they just start decelerating as the hybrid stops deploying.
Yep. To this massive braking zone.
So Meek is still in the pits. And he's fallen back behind Rubik's now, so I'm pretty sure that he has retired the car.
Yeah, he had that contact with, I forgot, but had a pretty big contact with somebody, and...
Yeah, he did definitely have that big crash which damaged him, but I thought he had continued after that.
Yeah, it seems like a good handful of minutes passed before we saw him into the pits. And Snacks in P3 goes into the pits now. And, whoa, what is going on? Meeksta drops into 5th overall. Echo is now in 2nd for the GT3 category.
Yep, from Snacks I suppose that was his scheduled pit stop.
Yeah. Snacks manages to pass Meek in the pits, so that's exciting.
Yeah, no, Meek has absolutely retired the car, there's no other way to explain that.
So we're effectively down to 2 LMPs in the fight here.
Yeah,
and
with 2 minutes separating them.
Yeah, we got 34 minutes left of the race here. We'll see if they can, if Chris can make anything of that.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Oh, we already... I was looking at the gaps for so long, we already went on another lap with Mason. There
well,
we go.
Sjord is just trying to... Is this an overtake? This is against Flowscap. Yes, they are absolutely battling it out hard. This is going to be an attack into turn 1. It's got slightly better exit. Let's see if Flow covers the outside.
Here he goes. It's over already. As long as Sjord keeps that pedal down, he's got the inside line.
Absolutely. Let's see. He's tucked back in to get the...
Oh no!
That was madly tight.
What?
Whoa, Flo was incredibly lucky that Sjord left just enough space out there.
Yeah, that was...
Could have ended really badly.
That was ballsy.
Yeah. Anyhow, now we have the reverse situation, and we see that Sjord is immediately covering the inside. Now, probably he has seen that he's quite far back. Relaxes a bit. Let's see if that will cost him.
Heavy into the braking zone. He's taking his time getting to that apex, though. He knew he had enough space to work with there.
To me, it looks like maybe Sjord is running a low downforce setup, because on the straights he absolutely just has more performance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's a very viable strategy on this circuit of all places to just minimize your downforce and drag. And we're seeing Sjord seems a little bit, he doesn't seem to have too much urgency in the corners.
Yeah. I really think he's running low downforce. He's suffering in the long bends.
Yeah.
But you see, as soon as he gets on the loud pedal, he's just gone. And see, that was a good example of how you need to take that corner. That was perfectly timed on the entry. Just give it a lot of lock. Hope the rear doesn't go away from you.
Yeah, it's
well done.
It's one of those 100% commitment corners where
absolutely,
if you're not fully committed, if you're trying to take it easy through there, you're gonna lose some tenths through that corner if you don't exit as fast as possible.
So Flo went on the inside, which maybe was not clever because now he has the worst exit. But maybe he still has the shock in his bones a bit from trying to to do the outside move into turn 1.
Possibly. Paul in chat says NSX has much better top end compared to the Audi, which I guess we haven't seen too many head-to-head races between like Davilex and Audi teams.
Yeah, might be that it's just a car performance, but seeing a car difference, I mean, but seeing from the corners how much that NSX is struggling with its rear, I'm thinking that it's not just that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's pushing it through turns too hard like he could with higher downforce.
Yeah. Yeah, now Flo made a bit of a mistake, so I think this battle is over for the next few laps at least.
We got just above 30 minutes left of the race here, so we are getting into the final act. This is where we'll see the Shakespearean tragedies unfold if any are in the books for us.
Admit it, you're rubbing your hands already.
Yep. Try to think of new and exciting ways to curse people.
Looking at the pace again, Miffy seems to have much stronger race pace than qualifying pace. He's doing nearly the exact same lap times as Echo and Rubik's are doing. He's much quicker than Zedian and Half.
Yeah, that is great. We were seeing 208s. The top 6 had 208s in qualifying, and
yeah, I think Miffy did a 209 he wanted saved before he restarted his Oculus or something.
Yeah, it was a 209.7 that he did. And
well, he's been only half a second off in race pace, so he's doing really well.
Right, yeah. Like, the qualifying pace, the top 6 were in 208, so we had a bunch of guys in the 209s and the 210s, which for qualifying wasn't enough to get it done, but here in the race, like, 210 is the race pace, and if you can get a 209, you're golden.
Yeah, absolutely. So, he's very competitive, as mentioned, with Rubik's and Echo. So if maybe he could squeeze a bit more qualifying pace out of the bag in the future races, he'll be a definite contender.
Yes, absolutely. Also seeing Sjord had a 210 for the last lap. So we may have some quick boys coming together here towards the end.
Yeah, but I fear it's going to be a bit difficult to close a lot of these gaps.
Yeah.
Miffy still has like 6 seconds to have, from what I see. 7. Zedian has nearly 20 to Echo. And the gap between Rubik's and Echo hasn't really moved. It's still like at 56 seconds or so, so I doubt that we'll see too much there.
MDK in chat has the Davilex team insider information that they are running a low downforce setup.
Yeah, it's nice to see that what we see on track translates to reality.
Yeah, it's just nice being right about stuff in general, isn't it?
It's good.
Love feeling. Love that feeling. It's one of the best.
Chris had a 4-minute lap last time round.
Whoa! That's not a good lap. Not sure.
I think we've missed a pit stop there.
Yeah, maybe.
A really costly one.
Making his way around.
Can't imagine losing.
Making his way around what's left of Ice's car there. Yeah, I don't. That's two minutes, upwards of 2 minutes lost. I don't understand how that happens.
Well, that sounds like a really bad pit stop.
Yeah, or he like had to get out and pee.
Yeah, he's struggling again. Nearly had a spin there on his off.
Well, if he can keep it on the track, he's got a guaranteed second place at least.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Let's see, so Rubik's still leading the GT3 boys. He once he gets that clear air, he is really good at managing his race pace and just keeping it in front. Like right now, we're seeing probably on some sort of worn tires by now, but 211s from him. He knows he's got some time to work with here. We see him a lot of times once he gets out into the lead. He really modulates his race pace to his needs. And that's the kind of racecraft that you need to consistently stay out there and stay on the track and not burn your tires out and lose the race in the last lap.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's easier to push at, I'll say 98% than easing off more. Because you're still in your rhythm. As soon as you start trying to take less risks, you will use different braking points, different acceleration points, and you'll just start messing up everything.
Yeah, I've heard quite a few people say that too. Like they, when when you're learning to race, you sort of learn what race pace is and what percentages of performance you push at. But
Yeah.
I've heard quite a few of our guys say that they don't like easing up in general. Like
Yeah, for me, it's easing up a bit. It's fine,
yeah,
and it's also what you want because you run less risk.
yeah,
But you need to be careful that you don't do too much. You also lose concentration if you're never on the limit.
right.
So Rubik still has 20 liters remaining. He will have burned about 100, so I think he'll pit in like 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, yeah, it's looking like a splash and dash for Rubik's, and if he doesn't take, was he here? Echo's 50 seconds away from him here. Still, about the time that he lost in the pit stop is now the time separating him and Rubik's. So, if Rubik's takes tires, it's gonna come down to it. But if Rubik's just nails that splash and dash, he could hold on to P1 uncontested.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Echo actually did take new tires. Strategy-wise, it would have made sense, but I'm not sure if the pit stop was long enough.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. I saw his pit crew rolling out tires, but I don't.
I think they always do that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any change in animations ever. So, he's running a 209 for his last lap though, so he's definitely looking to push Rubik's here.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume that he did take new tires. It would make more sense. But if he did, then I'd expect the gap to be larger by quite a margin once Rubik's does his pit stop.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I think with the limited amount of information about track conditions, I think I would run, instead of a splash and dash, I would run the midway, take some fresh tires, and the fuel I need for the rest. But
yeah, it just really depends on what your tires are doing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wiggle room for strategy here for GT3 today, so it's
yeah.
We still could see Sure with the underdog strategy that wins. We've seen before where it comes almost completely down to pit strategy, where alternative pit strategies actually secure the victory.
Yeah, Rubik is coming into the pits. He's probably doing what I was thinking about doing in his position. Because if he pits now, it leaves him time to react if he ends up close to Echo or behind him even. And had he waited for longer, maybe it would have put him in a position he doesn't want to be in. Let's see what the gap is once he comes out of the pits again.
Yeah, it looks on the map, looks like he's just stopped, so he's getting his fuel in. Watching his little dot on the map to see when it starts moving. It's gonna be close. It's start moving. Yep.
No, it's not going to be close. It's going to be quite a large gap, I think.
Yeah. He's just about to get back onto the track. And here we go. Alright, so they're on the same straight, but it is a very long straight.
Yeah.
And 13-second gap. So
yeah, and Echo was a bit quicker, so I suppose that we were right, and Echo did take new tires, while Rubik's didn't. But we'll have to ask them after the race if we were right.
Yeah. So Rubik's has just enough fuel to get by for the rest of the race now.
Yeah, I think he even has a bit spare. But the pit stop looked a bit long for only fuel. I might be getting a bit slow in the head, but I think both might have actually taken new tires.
I don't know, it seemed like and we were just watching a dot on the map, but it seemed like it stopped and seemed like just enough time to get fuel, and then he started rolling again. Didn't seem like he was actually stopped in his pit box for two.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So now if nothing weird happens, I suppose we'll have to watch the lap times Rubik's does now. But we're 20 minutes left, so Echo would have to be more than 1 second a lap quicker now and pull off the overtake before the end of the race. So I think he's just going to play mind games now, hammer out fast times and see if Rubik's gets unnerved by it. Meanwhile, I think Miffy has nearly caught up to half, at least from the sidebar gaps.
Let's see. Oh yeah, 3 seconds and they're dwindling pretty quickly. Hav's not putting out a very fast pace here. Miff and Snacks are both pulling out 2:10 still. Stanker pulled a 2:09 out last lap.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the GT3s are showing us something pretty interesting in races. The pace is often pretty similar across the field, but it's the variance that's important. The consistency of the front runners is just something else.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you look at the variation of our podiums, it's coming down to so many factors here because everybody's been so close together, and it's really letting the racecraft shine in the GT3 field this season.
Yeah, and also strategy.
Yeah, the strategy and just how they're gonna play an hour and a half is because if you had all these guys in a sprint race, it'd be a total dice toss to see who would come out first.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can really see how hard Miffy is pushing. Zero is getting a bit loose on entry and everything.
So does Rubik still hasn't put in a fast lap here.
Ooh, Hav is going to lose time to this LMP. Yes, you see, it's much closer now.
Oh, the stage is set. Check real quick with this gap. 11 seconds. Gonna be a lot. It's a tall order for 18 minutes left in the race.
Yeah. I think we'll have to just look out for any mistake on Rubik's part, and if nothing happens, yeah, I think this battle is the one that is promising to give us some action.
Yeah, counting on a mistake from Rubik's isn't I wouldn't take that bet though.
Nah, not a safe strategy at all. Yeah, Miffy's also a bit quicker on the straights, it seems, looking at the gap. We'll see if that helps him once he gets close enough to think about the move.
So looking at Rubik's put in a fast lap now at 2:11. 2:11.6, so a pretty high 2:11. So Echo is currently gaining time on Rubik's still, but
yeah, let's see what lap time he puts in next.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
But meanwhile, the gap is down to 6/10. So I think somewhere in this lap we're going to see the first attempts, but he's too far away on the straight. Yeah, but he has more grip, more confidence, he's braking later. I think Hav is going to have a very hard time of defending this. Just see how much ground he makes up on the apex.
Yeah, but you know, Hav is a really smooth defensive player too, so he can defend for quite a long time regardless of pace.
He is already covering the inside line, but now he's getting it up. Both were pretty deep breaking into there, so nothing to be done. Miffy's already fanning out a bit, just trying to be in the mirrors, make him nervous. But he lost it a bit on exit here, so might delay the move a bit.
this is Miffy's been putting in some great pace, but getting somebody to pass Have is the real test of patience.
Yeah. Especially if you're just like half a second quicker on lap, you just need to be incredibly consistent. So you can be right there when there's a mistake, or if you get a better exit.
Yep,
You just can't afford to fall back every lap.
Right, it's one of those where you don't.
Oh, mistake from Have. If Miffy plays it clever, he's just going to be. That was not clever.
Oh jeez! Oh jeez! Oh jeez!
Was on the limit. I think we're going to see that one in incident reports.
Quite possibly. He went hard and fast in there. Like, yeah, you could see him setting up. You could see that he was thinking about the inside there, and
yeah,
there was enough.
The strategy, I think, would have been to just keep incredibly close and try something on the start-finish straight.
Yeah.
Felt like he was running out of time. We'll have to review.
Yeah, we'll see what becomes of that later on, but for now the deal is done, and it didn't seem like if they made contact it was very light, but definitely wasn't super smooth anyway.
Absolutely, but Half was very aware of what was happening and left room as well he could.
Mason in the pits getting his last bit of fuel.
Interestingly, we're seeing now a bit of a phenomenon that we often see when someone has been passed. That driver can use the car in front of him for reference points and often stay behind. So maybe this is not over yet.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say this is over.
Oh, yeah, now it's over.
Yep. That left hand over the crest is so tricky. So tricky. The point where you want to start hitting the brakes is like not the ideal point to start hitting the brakes, but the point where I instinctually start hitting the brakes is just over the crest of the hill, and the car's not settled to brake at 100% there at all. So
yeah,
it's really tricky to set that up because you have to know what your velocity is going to be ahead of time to brake properly, because you don't get the time to decide after the crest.
Absolutely no, you need to start braking before. Half was just getting a bit too greedy on corner entry, I think.
Echoes managed to whittle it down to 10 seconds on Rubik's, but we only got 13 minutes left.
No, it's not going to be enough. It would have to be more than 1 second, and right now it's about half a second.
He is pushing the daylights out of his Huracan, though. He got a 2:09 on the last lap, so that's about the fastest race pace gets out here.
Yeah. Echo now, if our analysis is correct, on fresh or fresh-ish soft tires and low fuel. While Rubik's is absolutely in race management mode with all the tires. But we can nicely see that he's on the limit. He's always at a slight slip angle in the corners.
Car seems so quiet to me.
Yeah, I think that's one of the cars that gets loud once you're behind it.
Yeah. It's taking as much of the track as he can through there. That makes me nervous every time.
He's driving really well.
He is. That was precision right there.
It was just the one mistake that he cannot afford against Rubik's.
Down to 9 seconds so far. Rubik's was just hitting that curve though, so we'll see what the gap comes to on the straight.
Yeah, that gap is a bit unreliable, I feel. So if you don't compare it always at the same time of the track, can give you variations. You see now it's 10 seconds again.
Yep, a second give or take is kind of a margin of error for that. That's to be about 10 seconds-ish still. Well, we've got a lull. PCDC.link if anybody wants to join in for the end of the season here or for next season.
And we also have a really cool endurance event coming up in 2 weeks. We're
We
going to
do.
run the same Multiclass constellation at Daytona.
Yep, and you don't, there's no requirements for having race during the season to race the
Absolutely
endurance
not.
event or anything like that. Even for the upcoming COTA race, you can just hop right in. So yeah, feel free. Go to pcdc.link, join the old Discord, and read the rules, and then you can hit the track with us. A lot of really clean racing out here. Usually, as long as we don't put you at night in the fog with crazy bad visibility, but
Absolutely.
the skill of our drivers at least is really good sportsmen out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with the mistakes we've seen today, there was nothing stupid about any of them.
No,
It was always just an honest mistake.
Yep, just sort of force majeure of what happens when you race in the fog at night.
Yeah. It looks like the field has now spread out. Unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty evenly spread. I see there's like a back marker mixed in up ahead somewhere, and that's about it as in terms of proximity. Everybody's about 10 seconds away from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, Echo taking a odd route there, going for a little hike in the infield.
Yeah. I mean, you tell me, is there a nice scenery around the track?
It is beautiful. I haven't been to Road America, but I live in the area, so I can tell you there's beautiful trees and woodlands and lakes. It is really lovely. If you race the circuit in the daytime, you can kind of see an idea of the tree cover that's around outside of these fences. A very lush green area of the United States here.
I see.
What do we got? 8.5 minutes left of the race here.
Yeah, I can't help but think that he will have given up after that mistake.
Yeah, I mean he's still within the 10-second range, but Rubix isn't gonna give that time up. It would take an act of God at this point to get Rubix to slow down. Zedian is rounding out the top 3 in the GT3s here, and I haven't really seen him battle with anybody. I would hate to say that he was just handed a 3rd place here. I may have to have a word with him and find out what his story is here, because it kind of didn't seem to be too much drama in him achieving the 3rd place.
Yeah, looks like he had a quiet race, but you never know. Might have missed a few dozen incidents.
Yeah, there was. I can tell you for sure. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I'm gonna have a bunch of drivers saying, "Oh, you missed my beautiful battle with this person and this person." It's, when there's fog, I can't count on the trackside camera, so I can't see the whole pack. So I'm just hunting through roof cams to try to find where the good stuff is. So,
I guess the minimap is a good tool, but it's hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah, I've had the map up the whole time just to give me a little bit extra information here. Usually don't need to. I can sort of tell where everyone's at, but things get wild after the sun goes down here at PCDC. Nighttime is the right time for some wild business.
Absolutely. And Discord Turambar is already scrambling for answers, wondering how many points Mason is going to get and stuff.
We got the guys sweating a little bit here. So
yeah, he has gotten ambitious.
Well, we've got a little bit of time here. I'll pull the standings up once more just to sort of cross-reference these. Turambar is leading by 10 points. Mason is now in the lead of this race with Turambar retired, so Mason might be, the points scale depending on how many starters there are in the field, so I don't know if Mason's going to have 10 or 11 points to take that lead in one swoop here or not.
Yeah, also don't forget the Joker race system.
Yes, we do have the Joker race implemented where your worst result gets taken off at the end of the season, so it's gonna come really close in the points. For GT3, let's see if Echo nails the second place, he'll be in probably good shape to unseat you, and then Rubik's shoot might have enough to. I don't think it's a 13-point difference between first and second, is it?
No, absolutely not.
So Rubik's might be shooting up into P2 in the standings after this, but
Yeah, I mean Echo did take pole position, right?
for quali,
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, if so, that would give him a bonus point, so he
Uh,
would probably only lose like 2 points to Rubik's.
So Echo's looking good for standings after this, but yeah, Rubik's is gonna be up there too. Sjord, if he manages a seventh, he's gonna be sitting pretty since Lager had an unfortunate retirement today.
Yeah. I'm very happy how competitive this is being in GT3s at least. It's unfortunate for LMP1s. I don't know if the car class just maybe had less of an appeal because people know it less, or the hybrid system, or I don't know what.
A lot of people like the LMP1s, but what we've seen a lot is our major competitors in the LMP1s being out for technical issues, getting crashed out sometimes, and
Yeah,
it's not. There's not enough people to really facilitate a lot of wheel-to-wheel racing there, and not.
absolutely.
It's just been unlucky for the LMP1s. People have been busy missing races, whatever. So a lot of the really fast competitors, usually there's only one or two of them in a race at a time.
Yeah. It's really funny how close the pace is. I mean, down to Fjord, paces are relatively similar, or even further, Stanker. Interesting that there's still such large gaps.
Yeah, yeah, and that's as I mentioned before, that's kind of what it comes down to is like we've got 15 GT3 drivers that are like exact same pace dang near, and just really comes to how you handle an hour and a half of racing with all the things that go along with it.
Yeah.
Because these guys can definitely pull out fast laps. We're seeing great race pace from everybody.
I wonder if Echo is struggling a bit now with the soft tires he supposedly took. He's been losing his rear quite frequently now.
Yeah, he's been on those soft tires for about 45 minutes now. We got 3 minutes left in the race, and those softs are going to start suffering a little bit, but he's still pulling out 210s. But you know,
Pretty decent.
at what cost? How is his stability going to suffer for that? Benson chat says, I miss Flickin' Flockin'. I do too. I don't know where he's at today. Maybe, hopefully he's out at the post office picking up his wheel that's been fixed, because he's definitely been, he's been a joy to have in the commentary box, but he's definitely been missing the racing.
Yeah, we need him giving Mason and Tarambor a hard time.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully we get to pull out all the stops for Coda, and then the Daytona endurance event after that.
Yeah.
Meeksta's in the Discord quietly celebrating the fact that he'll still get points after making it 50% of the race. 1 minute and a half left of the race here. Let's see where our race leader Mason is at on the track. Might just be one lap after this. It's gonna cross the line with about a minute left, and I think that'll be it.
Yeah, very likely.
So Echo's now within 8 seconds of Rubik's, but only has one lap left of the race to do anything about it.
It's going to be the last one.
we'll go on board with Mason for the victory lap here.
I'm kind of going through scenarios on how you could have just jinxed and cursed him, but I can't think of any. He just has a massive lead.
Honestly, it crossed my mind too. I wasn't going to say anything, but I was like, what? There's not going to be a simulated lightning strike on Mason's vehicle or anything. Like, unless Hillbilly Chris has hired some hitmen in the GT3 field.
Yeah, they would have to be extremely good hitmen though.
Right, yeah, they'd have a hard time catching this guy. He's on one, as they say.
Yeah.
It's been a race of survival and attrition for the LMPs out here today.
Yeah. It's a shame to see so many people retiring their cars.
Yeah, I think we had 8 retirements total, maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes with the territory of racing at night at one of the faster circuits, probably the fastest circuit on our in our season here.
As Mason crosses the line in an absolutely dominant fashion, once again wins the race, and I think this should put him at least within striking distance of Tarambar.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going to do the math on how the points will scale, but that's definitely a good place for Mason to be.
Yeah, we'll see after the race how he stands.
Hillbilly Chris in second in the LMP1 had a really rough race. He had some contacts with people, some crashes, some offs and stuff, but he just stuck his nose to the grindstone and stayed in there, and now he's going to be getting second place points out here.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just about keeping your patience. I mean, sometimes you're very frustrated about mistakes, but you just need to keep your head down and keep driving.
Absolutely. What is this? Oh, they already crossed the line. I was like, oh, we're gonna
finish the race, yeah. And are happily bumping.
The
Rubix is now definitely taken the win.
Yep,
Congratulations to him.
Rubix across the line, and here is Echo in a close second. Got it down to about 6.5 seconds at the end there.
He will be ruining that mistake. That was exactly the distance that was missing for him.
Yep. Yeah, it did really come down to that, didn't it?
Yeah.
His teammate Zedian behind him though, so for team standings, I've kind of lost the plot on the team standings, but they're definitely sitting pretty after that. Get a 2-3 finish.
Yeah, a bit salty about that.
Yeah, are you teamed up with Apex, Bill?
Yes.
So both of you are out today.
Yeah.
And yeah,
we've been doing pretty good so far, but I don't think we can stand against this. Now we'll see.
See if I can get the here. So yeah, to recap, Mason took the race win here today. Hillbilly Chris got second place in LMP1. Nobody got third. Rubix got third overall in the win in the GT3. Echo with P2 for the GT3. Zedian rounding out the podium for GT3. Granola Joe, you're leading by 30 some points. So yeah, they might be up there with you now.
We'll see. So who do you want to talk to first? I'll ask people if they are up for it.
Whoever's ready. I want Mason and Chris, and then just the podium for the GT, I think.
All right.
All right, so that is the race finished. It was definitely interesting. Lots of action, lots of tragedy out there, lots of crashes, lots of wild, on-the-edge driving. Certainly lived up to my expectations here for a night race at Road America, which shows on the screen.
We've got Mason with us, Dustin, if I can interrupt your laughing.
Welcome, Mason. I just noticed Road America has a British flag, has a UK flag on the on the screen here, which is
it's just a colony, Dustin.
Hey, we already had this fight. All right, we don't need to go back over this. It's been 200 years. Mason, hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Hot and sweaty.
Seems.
Super hot here, so it's a
Uh,
lot. It's hard work.
uh, oh, it managed to survive. I think that's what it comes. I mean, you were fast as
Yeah,
hell.
the other four just had a lot of trouble, I think.
Yeah, we had a.
Lost the bar to a gear bug or something, and then I think the other four just had incidents. The
Yeah,
other
did
three just had incidents.
you
Yeah.
make any contact at all with anybody out there?
I don't think so.
You managed to
I made like
skate
a
through.
really. My brain turned off and I almost dived Echo down the inside of the carousel. I managed to lock up and stop that from happening when my brain turned back on. But that was a bit scary, but I didn't. I didn't come close at all.
Yeah, everybody else had incidents.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just
You had
managed to keep it clean.
even Chris, who managed second just by virtue of surviving. He had some
Yeah.
kind of a wild one. Was it difficult to deal with the traffic and the low visibility?
I don't think the visibility was a problem. Just the track's really like tight in most places, so it's
Yeah.
very difficult to get by.
Well, certainly made it look easy. I went on for a handful of laps with you to see that monstrous pace, but Bill and I were both kind of hoping that Turambar and Flick and Flocken both come back to give you a hard time
I
next
really
week.
wanted to fight with Turumba today because we were really close together in times in practice and qualifying and stuff. So that'd have been a fun race, I think, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, you guys were within like a tenth or 3/10 or
No, I think it
something.
was like 0.23 or something.
Yeah, it was a really tiny gap
Like
between
2 tenths. Yeah,
hundredths, maybe. I don't even know. But
yeah, it was very close.
hopefully we see some drama. I think you'll be sitting really pretty on the points after this race, though. So
Hopefully,
that's
that'd be
good.
nice.
I'll send you on your way. Congrats on the race win.
All right,
Yeah,
cheers,
well
man.
done.
Thanks.
See you, Mason.
See ya.
All right, I'll go fetch Chris.
All right. Stuff.
We've got Chris with us. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
So how'd that race go for you, bud? I mean, I saw some drama, but you managed to make it through. What happened on your end?
Yeah, I got some spins. The first one was because of a GT3. And then I was a bit of unconcentrated the laps afterwards, but again, yeah, wasn't that good of a race.
Yeah, it looked kind of rough. I mean, but you managed second place just by virtue of keeping at it and surviving. You know?
Yeah,
Did you?
unlucky for our guys.
Yeah, a lot of drama out there with contacts and big accidents even. Did you get any damage after that contact that you had with the car, or?
No, I was pretty okay with the damage, but later in the kink on the back straight, I lost the car and went completely in the wall.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, we saw a couple of those spins and dramatic moments. I didn't know if you had any suspension damage or if it was just a rough time out there because everybody was having a pretty rough go of it on a couple of corners, especially that kink.
Yeah, especially if a GT3 is in front of you and you try to lap it, and it's that the overtake itself is safe, but then you have a slightly worse angle for this kink, and then you might get loose.
yeah, I guess it was really tough to overtake the GT3s. We also saw a lot of issues there.
I mean, it was okay. Out of the slow corners, you can easily overtake them with the hybrid. So
Yeah.
Well, it's hard fought and certainly not the cleanest race for anybody out there today. But you got a P2 out of the deal, so congrats on that, Chris.
yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll see.
Congratulations to you. Right, I'm going to fetch Rubik's.
Chat, I saw that the mic volume was low. I turned it up. Hopefully that is. Look at my levels. Hopefully that's reasonable now. Rubik's the GT3 winner in here for a quick word. I want to thank everybody for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, hello, Rubik's.
Hello.
That was some race out there. How'd it go from your point of view?
Yeah, I made no mistakes really, but Echo was pushing really hard, was sometimes even faster, but I just made less mistakes than him.
Yeah, it was that's it. It actually came down. Bill mentioned this on the last couple of laps that it really did come down to Echo made one mistake that cost him about 6 seconds, and that's all it took to really decide it.
And I waited so long with the pit stop, so he had more pressure because I didn't want to pit at like 45 minutes because there was no gap where I could come out and have clean air. So I waited a bit longer and he needed to push so hard, and then he made up a few seconds, but not enough. So I just didn't change tires, and then I was in front and could manage the lead.
So you didn't change tires, were you on hards?
No, full on soft.
Wow, roll distance. It's impressive.
The whole run on softs.
Yes.
That's interesting. Yeah, Bill and I were not sure what the tire strategy was going to come down to, because I mean we know fuel needed a little splash there, but
yeah, I got now my game says I got 28% on the front left tire.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah. Oh, you managed though. That was we noticed you sort of modulating your race pace and just making it work out there. It was really consistent racing and another really strong showing from you.
Yeah, but like the strongest driver today was really Mason because he lapped like everyone in like 2 laps. It seemed like.
Well, yeah, I guess, but got that LMP car. It's like a rocket. He managed to. I think Mason is very fast, but he managed to not make contact with anybody at all, and every other LMP1 got into an incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Toyotas.
Yeah, everybody. Hillbilly Chris managed to survive, and that got him a P2. Everybody else got crashed out. I don't know what happened with Turenbar yet, but
Turenbar had an issue where his setup didn't load correctly.
Okay.
Like 5th to 7th gear all had the same ratio.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
That's not good. It's like the Fast and the Furious gearbox where you can just keep shifting forever and
Yeah.
don't go any faster. Well, Rubik's, great show out there. Congrats on your race win. That was really immense racing.
Yeah, it was impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
See you, Rubik's. So I'm going to go fetch Echo.
Yeah, we got Echo and Zeddy and Katana Kiwi says volume was low on Mason. The volume is always low on Mason. That's the thing. I bug Mason about his mic volume. Hello, Echo. Welcome. We bug Mason about his mic volume nearly every day, and we say, Mason, you're super quiet, and he's like, is it better now? No. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Hello, Echo.
Hello.
How are you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. A little bit bummed out. I thought it would be closer, but yeah.
Yeah, that was. Bill mentioned towards the end of the race that there was like one mistake you made that was all that decided it, basically.
Yeah, I know at the beginning of the race I was right behind him, and I think I got a little bit of dirty air or something in the final corner, and I went on the grass, and I lost like I don't know how many seconds, but a lot.
It was like 6 seconds, and that was the gap at the end of it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I hate to bring you down. I mean, that was an immense race on everybody's part and your own. That was really great racing, but that was the one thing.
Yeah, and I think he didn't change tires. He double stinted. I really didn't think the softs would last the whole race, and I actually hate softs. I find them really horrible in adversary. Yeah. But they were okay in the race, apart from that long right-hander. That was pretty brutal. You had to wait so long to get on the power. But I did change tires, and I had really good pace when I came back out. And I was just hoping that he would pit and I would be able to come out like around him. But I think he waited a little bit longer or something. And
Yeah.
I think I had a little moment as well when my VR froze. I think it's the left-hander before the final corner. It froze there, so I went basically straight on. But luckily, there's AstroTurf there, so I didn't crash or anything. I just got back onto the track as soon as it fixed itself.
Yeah, that pit stop too. Bill and I were discussing the pit strategy. I assumed you got gas and tires and did the sort of halfway change or whatever, but the pit stop too put you like 50 seconds back from Rubik's, and you nearly just gained that back immediately
Yeah,
once Rubik's did. It was so close.
I was pushing the whole time, but I don't have a relative up. I need to sort that out. So I didn't even know how far ahead he was.
Yeah, you were running similar pace. You were a bit quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
given it was one of those instances where, you know, if we magically tacked on 15 minutes to the race, like it would have been a different thing probably.
Yeah, well, I was behind him pretty much the first sort of half of the race, and I was second. I couldn't really get past him. He seemed pretty composed and he wasn't making any mistakes. So I just took the gamble of just pitting halfway, changing fresh tires, and then just having a pace advantage with the fresh tires, trying to do it that way. But I still come second, so I'm pretty happy for
Yeah.
the championship as well. My teammate come third, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
you guys
So,
had the 2-3.
yeah, so yeah, so that's good points for the team as well.
No, it was a great performance. I mean, I know everybody loves to get the P1, but that was really a very strong performance and some good competition from you.
Yeah, it was really good.
Congrats. We'll see you next week for Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
See you, Echo.
Bye.
See ya.
Gideon's still around.
Yeah, I'm gonna fetch him.
Nice. All right, so we'll do one more interview here, and then we'll shut her down. We'll get Zedian in here. I'm curious to find out what Zedian's race was like. Hello, Zedian.
Hello.
You had one of those finishes where it's like all of a sudden Zedian, somebody just pops up onto the podium, and I I didn't see any real drama with you on the track, so I may have just missed it. What happened? How was your race?
I think this would qualify as my best race for myself. While I've been with PCDC for sure. Yeah, everything for me just clicked together. I tried to make the soft work during the practice, and it really worked. And I switched, got fresh tires during my pit stop to make sure I would stay on track. And yeah, I had a
Yeah,
nice battle with Flo.
Yeah, you had a very
yeah.
good race, but from our end, it looked a bit quiet, your race. So did you have any interesting battles or issues?
Yeah, before my first, before the pit stop in the first stint, I had a really nice battle with Flo Scub. I ended up passing him at some point. It was really hard on the after the main straight on the straight in the very slow turny section. I believe I got past him and managed to stay in front. And at some point, I think he lost it. I just saw him slide over in the rear mirror, and that's basically the end of any competition for me.
What position did you qualify in?
Fifth.
Fifth? Yeah, okay. Because it is interesting. We mentioned in the stream too that we had so many guys like first through sixth were all within like 7/10 of each other. So we get these times where it totally comes down to race strategy, and just everybody's racecraft and strategy gets put to the test. Did you have the normal one stop in the middle of the race, or what was it?
Slightly later, but it was only one lap, I think, and I added fuel and switched tires to make sure. Yeah.
So I wasn't. Of course, it's hard to tell who is going to be on the podium in a qualifying session like that. During these races, could be anybody, except the GT3 field is so packed.
Yeah, I was even frustrated during qualify because I had more, but yeah, just like been in the few too many times.
Yeah, happened. Yeah, it's interesting to see it pop up and round out the podium just seemingly out of nowhere. I think I caught a little bit of your battle with Flo Scub at the beginning, but there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, congrats, Zeddy. That was a good
Yeah,
strong
thanks.
finish.
Congratulations to your performance.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, boys. We'll shut her down again. PCDC.link if you want to join us for next week or for the endurance race at Daytona. Got a lot of fun races throughout the week that we get together and do too. So come on, join
A
us
lot
if
of
you want
trash
to.
talk in Discord as well.
A lot of Discord trash talk, which is probably my favorite thing. I don't even race that often. I just hang out in the Discord. But yeah, thank you, Bill, for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And yeah, for PCDC, I've been Dustin the Destroyer. See you next week.
See you guys.